To start off introducing myself, I am Kevin Harris. Uh, I am born and raised Lexington, Kentucky. However, I have been up in Boston since '98. I came up to go to the New England Conservatory of Music for a piano performance degree. My undergraduate's in education. I actually knew I wanted to teach before I knew I wanted to perform and play and compose. So you want to help and inspire folks to think. Uh, and I want it to be a kind of a perpetual experience where I challenge myself to think also, where I have to kind of live up to what I'm writing about, in this particular case, James Baldwin is a pretty high standard, a lot that he has to say to us and continues to say through us, he is constantly asking us, how much have things changed? In this particular case, this performance is like right on the heels of Juneteenth. And I would think that if James Baldwin was still with us today, that would be one of the important questions he would ask. The instrumentation is flute, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, two trumpets, two trombones, French horn, piano, acoustic bass, drums, and probably the most interesting one that surprises a lot of people is EDI, electronic digital instrument. So there's a keyboardist, his name is Calvin Lemuel, he's from Indonesia. And Calvin is not only a wonderful keyboard player, but he also has taken the time to sample a lot of Baldwin, to where when he plays, sometimes he's laying down these really, orchestral sounds and pads, and other times he's literally triggering Baldwin's voice, to where Baldwin is also an extra instrument throughout the piece itself. So I'd say one of the overarching theme is this constant push and pull of what celebration is. Again, what it means to experience adversity. For example, Baldwin at the beginning of The Fire Next Time, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but asks, what do we do as human beings to keep our stars aligned in the sky? What are the things that we will do? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And he's saying, in my opinion, kind of asking, what's all the stuff that's happening in this world, in our nation, in this particular case, that is making a majority of whites in power uncomfortable because of the status quo that's happening with blacks? What's happening there that in our country so much continues to happen in order to keep things the way they are? We too, as human beings, all of us, when our stars are shaken up, we just will do everything to keep them in place. What quest are we on to be okay with that, to perhaps look around and ask ourselves, now that our neighborhoods are changing, now that our school system, the demographics of our school systems are changing, and the politics and what we see and the languages we hear around us are changing, what's the uphill quest of dealing with that? How fragile must we continue to be personally and collectively to embrace that type of change? I want everyone to be on that emotional roller coaster to where we can experience a little bit of the carpet being pulled out from under us, but in the end, celebrate the fact that it happened, and we're okay. Things have changed. The world hasn't fallen apart. Like, we're actually celebrating some of those stars that continue to still move, keeping in mind that we are also celebrating what has not been resolved yet, what we aspire to resolve. Since 1865, Juneteenth beginning, there has been a lot to celebrate in regards to progress, but we're also dancing and celebrating with the hopes of things that have not been changed, that continue to hurt us as a country and a world. But in the face of that adversity, we still know how to dance.